see that it's quadratic since we have an equation here where we have t squared t and then a numerical value. So it's following the general form of a quadratic equation. So on this question, the first part is to find out how long it takes for the basketball to reach its maximum height. So we're given the equation of the basketball, which is this quadratic equation, and this is the height of the ball from the ground when it's thrown. So we're measuring the height in meters and the time in seconds. So I would suggest before we even start this question, we should be first of all graphing it. So we're going to go to our graphic calculator and we're going to type in the equation. So 4.75. Now we need to change any variable to an x. So it's going to be x squared plus 8.75 x plus 1.5. Now the second part of this equation, this part here, this is just telling us that we only want to graph it in the positive x value, so it's restricting the domain to the positive. So we're now going to graph this equation, and let's just have a look at what was wrong with this. So we should have used the negative symbol here. There we go. So you can see it's probably not exactly where we want it at the moment. We don't need to go that high on the x-axis, on the y-axis. So let's just try 20, and I'm just going to change one thing at a time until it looks a little bit better. It looks like I could half the y-axis, so let's go as high as 10. And then we don't need any negative in the x direction or t, which makes sense because that would essentially be our negative time, which we wouldn't want. So I'm actually going to type -1 just so that we can still see the y-axis, and I probably only want to go up to about 5. So we're starting to see this much clearer now. Let's take off a little bit from the negative y side, and we have a much clearer graph. So you can see this ball has been thrown from this height, it's reached a maximum point and then landed on the floor. So the first one is to find out how long it takes the basketball to reach its maximum height. So if we think about our diagram here, something like this, we want to find out what is the time, this is the time axis, at the maximum height. So we're now going to go to second function trace and find the maximum. We need to go once to the left, once to the right, and then we find that middle point, and we can see that the maximum time, so the x coordinate, is 0.921. So it's going to be when t equals 0.921. And don't forget to write the variable as t, not x. So the next part is assuming that no player catches the basketball, find out how long it would take the basketball to hit the ground. So for this question, essentially we're asked to find out the t value there when it crosses the axis, so this point here. So we're now going to go to second function trace, and we're going to find our 0. So once to the left, once to the right, and we can see that that is at 2. So when it's 2 seconds, t equals 2 seconds, that's when the ball hits the ground. And then another player catches the basketball when it's at a height of 1.2 meters. Find the value of t when they catch the ball. So for this question, we need to find out where is 1.2 meters. So we're going to go back to our original, and we're going to type in a new equation of 1.2 meters, since it says 1.2 meters here. And now we want to know what is the value of x, or what is the time, when did it happen? When this person catches the ball, which is where that intersection happens. So we're going to go second function trace, intersect, just getting close to it, and we can see there that the time is 1.8757755. So always rounding to 3 significant figures in the DP. So it's 1.88 seconds. Okay, so in terms of the marks here, you would be given for the first question, it's out of 2 marks, so there is 1 answer for the correct answer there, and then 1 which would either be for some sort of method that's been seen. It could be drawing a graph or a different type of method, but if you get the answer right, then you would still pick up those 2 marks. The second one again is 2 marks, and this is again for the answer and some sort of recognition that you're finding a 0. It could be equating the graph equal to 0. It could be drawing it and showing that that's the point. Either of those situations would be fine for a method mark. And then the last question, again, 1 for the answer and 1 for some sort of method towards that answer, whether that's equaling it to 1.2 or drawing it as a graph.